Now it's time to talk Council House. It celebrates 50 years, believe it or not, this year. And we've got Councillor Adamos here, and he's talking to our very own Councillor, Nisha Seth.
That's an interesting way to describe me. Thank you, Fred. We are joined by a real councillor, Jim Adamos. Welcome to the show again.
Thank you, Nisha. Great to be here.
The City of Perth always has a great party, and rightly so now for the 50th anniversary of Council House. Tell us about the anniversary and what celebration we're going to see.
Absolutely. Well, the City of Perth's headquarters in the city, Council House, turns 50 years of age this year. So there's some big celebrations that start tomorrow. That go through to the third week in May, I think it is. And we have an exhibition down there in the foyer of Council House, and just really highlights some of the history that the building has gone through.
And it is really a good opportunity to look at that history, because there has been a little bit of colourful history with Council House. I understand about 30 years ago, Council House was going to be gone. Absolutely,
well that's right. Well, the way that the building was actually conceived back in 1959, there was a competition run by the Royal Australian Institute of Architects.
We love competitions.
We do, and Geoffrey Howland and Donald Bailey were two prominent architects from Melbourne, and they won the rights to design our new Perth Town Hall, and Council House came as a result of that. Up until even 30 years ago, there was a plan to actually demolish Council House. The government thought at the time that it didn't have that much sort of architectural merit, and it wasn't. It needed to be vacated for the removal of asbestos from the building, and they thought, well, it's probably just easier and cheaper to knock the building down than restore it back to its former glory. Only after a short 30 years in existence.
Goodness, and of course I think it was 1999 that they did do a refurb anyway, so I guess it went from it nearly going away to it being put into its original glory, so to speak.
That's true. Well, that's right. Council House was reoccupied back in 1999, and in 2006 it was actually then placed onto the Heritage Register for Perth. So we won't be seeing any more, people trying to knock the building down. I think it's well known Australia-wide, internationally, that it has got great architectural merit. I'm sure probably sort of 20 odd years ago people thought, well, it's a building that they possibly didn't like, but it's well known that it does have that merit. So it's an important building to have here. And we're very, very fortunate to have one of the original architects coming over to join us in the celebrations.
That's great. So bringing the old to the new, I believe Bailey will be here, and I'm using his last name because that's a very funky way to do it these days. He will be here, but we'll also have some local artists potentially coming and performing and providing pieces on the day.
That's right. Well, the City of Perth has actually commissioned, in recognition of the 50-year birthday, we've commissioned 5 local artists to design some pieces that, from their point of view, represent what they believe is Council House and the important architectural elements of that building. So we've been very fortunate. There are 5 pieces that have been commissioned, and they'll be a part of the exhibition as well as all the original plans, the original models that were made, and some of the original furniture and other pieces that were in existence at the time, and through Council House history.
That's great. So the City of Perth this is a part of its arts and culture program as well. So if people want to go down and get involved, what's the best way for them to find out more?
Well, they can either hop onto the City of Perth website, or they can go onto showmeperth.com.au, and on there they'll be able to find out all the information about the exhibition that starts tomorrow. Also, while they're down there, having a look at some parts of history that they may not have seen and have not had the pleasure of seeing before. They can pick up a book that's been produced by the City of Perth, and that covers the history and the life of Council House.
Oh, that's beautiful. And that's a free book as well, isn't it? So
yes,
if you go down with a family, it makes for a beautiful day. Soak in some of the heritage of Perth and find out more. Now, of course, Jim, City of Perth, all the councils are doing a wonderful job. We had you on last year as well with all the Christmas events, and I'm sure that if you log on to the website, you'll be able to find out so much more about all the other events that you've got planned for the rest of the year as well.
That's true. There's just one more point.
Sure.
There's in the City of Perth at the moment, we have Eat Drink Perth, which is a food and drink festival, and that and that runs through to the end of March. So get involved in that.
Eat Drink
Eat Drink Perth.
Perth. Oh, I was going to say something else. Drink Perth. So you can go on the City of Perth website, or of course you can go to thecouch.com.au. Thank you so much for joining us again, and we'd love to have you on again soon.
Thanks so much for having me. Great to be here.
Absolute pleasure. Back to you, Fred.
I think you were thinking of Eat, Pray, Love.
Possibly, or eat, drink.
Eat, drink, love. I suppose it all ends up the same way. Nisha, thank you very much.
Pleasure.
And I was calling you counsellor because you're a psychologist as well, and I was thinking of lying on your couch and maybe you do some therapy on yours. Thank you very much to Jim and to Nisha, and please support the 50 years of Council House. They're doing a wonderful job. I know I'm going to go down there and get my free book because I might even eat, pray, love while I'm there as well. Okay, coming up.